welcome to episode 62 of Thrashcast. My name is Billy, and I'm here today with my usual co-hosts, Jim and Ken. How are you guys today?
Wicked.
All good.
All right,
Happy
cool.
Canada Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today I was going to hit on it shortly, but now that we mentioned it, so today's All Canada Day episode, all Canadian bands. Some more to come on that, but before we dive there, just a quick reminder where you can find Thrashcast. We're at www.horrormetalsounds.com and on YouTube, Horror Metal Sounds at kenji.2864. Also on Rumble and Spotify. And of course, our usual ask, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our various weekly podcasts as it helps the channel grow. So again, back to the agenda. So for folks who may not know, January 1st is Canada Day. And so,
July 1st. July 1st, dude.
oh, what did I say?
January. January 1st is New Year's Day, but
I rewinded half a year. So yeah,
I know.
it starts with a J. So close.
No
So July 1st. So I think we do this last year too. The
we
Canada.
did, yes.
Yeah, okay. So the album we're going to focus on, a Canadian band, Annihilator, Neverland, going to 1990 album. And then we've been on a roll with our mixtape list at the end. So our requirement this time is Canadian metal, not specific to a year, just make a Canadian metal mixtape. And then we got a few, depending on time, some other Canadian thrash metal type questions we'll get to if there's time. So first segment, news and what's spinning. Jim, why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, in celebration for Canada Day, I figure I got today my Helix
Yeah.
Palmer.
Nice.
It's the best of 50. So it's pretty cool. It's like a cool pack you get. And it was signed. To an album. Comes with vinyl and it comes with a CD, so it comes with all kinds of stuff. Actually, it's kind of cool. It comes with
Don't forget the beer cozy or koozie.
Yeah, it opens up. The CD goes here, but it's down in my CD player right now.
Okay.
And the vinyls. I don't have a turntable, so I'm going to plan to get one. But it's got kind of a cool gold splatter.
Oh, that's nice. Cool.
Yeah, this is totally well done. It came with like some liner notes type deal and the
cool
stuff. All re-recorded. It came with a pick, yes, and a beer koozie.
Nice.
Out of that.
And too bad you don't drink beer, Jim. You won't be able to use it. You'll have to send it my way.
And I got with it, which is kind of cool. And I got if you were the first 50 to order, you got the commemorative ticket for the event that was
cool.
In May 21st, 2025. So they did sort of a record release party thing for fans. You could go there and do it. So, but I picked that up and had it. It just came in today, which was kind of cool. And the CD's down in my CD player. It's awesome. I don't even think you can stream it yet. I don't think it's on any of the platforms.
Oh.
So it's kind of cool. And who's not Canadian, but kind of an important news topic is, in our Biff Byford is going in for some the procedure. Know exactly what it is. I believe it next week. So 10 dates, including Wacken in for their shows, which Saxon never cancels dates, but I guess this is pretty serious. So, we send him positive thoughts by, Thrashcast, and hopefully all goes well and he's back out there doing what he does best. So just a little.
We don't know what it is though, unfortunately.
Oh no, they've kept that pretty tight-lipped, which, hey, good for them. I think he played. I think they're playing right up until, though. I think he's playing like this week.
Okay.
Has just played. So there's something planned, obviously, and where I would assume healthcare is, like in Canada, when you get a situation where you have a set date and time, you have to do something. You kind of got to do it because otherwise it could be so much longer again that you have to wait, and this could be something that he can't wait on, you know. So our prayers are with him, and hopefully everything's out. And because man, I just got their live album, live over Hell Eagles over Hellfest this week too. But I'll put that on next week's show because I wanted to do an album. That's all I can.
Cool.
Yeah, it was obviously health comes first, no doubt about that. But I was pretty bummed that they canceled Wacken. I mean, Wacken this year is such a weak lineup, at least for my taste. That was a big blow. But again, obviously his health comes first. So versus my trip. Okay, Ken, over to you.
Okay, in the spirit of our all Canadian show, we do have an announcement from Gorguts. They will be releasing a brand new album, apparently in the first quarter of 2026. They announced that I think yesterday or the day before. No official release date yet, but they're working on it. So it's been a while since this band put out some music, so that's kind of cool. Looking forward to that. And oh yeah, so this is another little thing. It's not Canadian, but there is a Comic Con going on in the UK on July 11th and 12th, which I think I would love to go if I was ever able to do that. Where metal guests are going to be part of the show, and it's kind of strange. So Ozzy, his son Jack, his daughter, and of course Sharon are all going to be attending the show. Sid Wilson from Slipknot's going to be attending the show. Randy Blythe from Lamb of God, and of course Scott Ian and Bo Frankie Bello are going to be a part of it. I get the Anthrax part of it because I know they're comic book fans, and I know Scott goes to a lot of these Comic Cons in the States and stuff. But other guests are a little bit weird, but that would be kind of a cool thing. I would like to check that out since got my Batman shirt on and I'm a huge comic book fan. So that would be kind of neat. And then, in the spirit of Canadian metal this week, I was listening to this quite a bit at Triumph's Allied Forces, one of my favorite Triumph albums. So I was listening to that all week long. I just got into a kick of listening to Triumph, and then of course they played in Edmonton during the playoffs, so it was kind of neat to get the band to go to play a three song set. So that was pretty cool, and they brought in a bunch of other musicians to help them out. So like it wasn't just Rick playing since Michael Levine couldn't make it and playing bass, but that was pretty cool. So if you're in Edmonton, you probably had a good opportunity to see the Triumph perform a couple of live songs. And I think didn't I see you, Billy, post the Triumph the tribute album on Instagram last week?
Yeah, it might be. Well, I'll show it now. It was on Blackwood's spinning list.
Nice.
So yeah, the tribute, Magic Power, really cool. I mean, I guess you could say there's some thrash artists on there, right? You got Joey from Anthrax, but it's probably more hard rock, metal, and rock. I mean, you even have Alex Lifeson contributing a solo, which I didn't know until I got the detailed notes.
What song does he do, Billy?
I think I need to pull out the whole book. Oh no, it's here. So
cool.
He does. Sorry, my eyesight is Alex Lifeson. Man, there's so many artists on like.
I know. Yeah, it's a great list.
Holy crap!
It's a great list.
Oh, there he is. He's on Blinding Light Show.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He only does the one. He only has one solo on there.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
But that's pretty cool because they haven't been promoting that.
No.
Well, you'd think you'd want to promote that.
I think I know they've promoted it on the Triumph website, but don't forget Rick is also dealing with cancer, so he's been going through treatments and stuff like that too. So I don't know if that's part of the reason why they have.
I don't know. Yeah, and I don't mean him personally. I just mean whoever's in charge of promoting, because they keep talking about like the Twisted Sister guy, Sebastian Bach, Joey Belladonna, and all the other guitar players, but they don't mention him.
Yeah,
that's weird. Huh.
Yeah, it's like top billing on it, and I mean his cover's pretty good, but Yeah, no, I didn't know Lifeson was on it, so that makes
No, I didn't either.
just
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, it's only when you get the album and you open it, it has literally every instrument, who's doing everything on every song that you see it.
I love the Joey. I love the Joey song. I thought he did a great.
Yeah.
I thought he did a great rendition on it. It's perfect for him. It's the kind of arena rock music that he likes to sing. Besides Anthrax, so I mean, I thought his song was kind of great.
It kind of sounds like the original.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's very. Yeah, it's very close. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's kind of so you would think it'd be more different, but it's like he's trying to make it sound similar.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. I could see him like trying to honor that, but it
Yeah.
was cool.
I was kind of
Well,
shocked at Galley's version of Spellbound, which on their album Bombs and Battle Scars,
mhm.
it's funny because it's an album full of originals, and then they have a cover of Triumph's Spellbound. But I'm like, that's the best song on their album, the cover of Spellbound. So
Well
I can't
done.
have it on there. It was so good. They did such a good job with it. So
Cool.
Yeah, never a good sign when your best songs cover.
when you're
So
best,
true.
the actual cover.
Oh my god. Well, Billy, go on. You might as well just continue because I'm pretty much done.
Oh, you're done? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then just on the news, one item, one of my favorite events of the year, 70,000 tons of metal. As usual, it's dead silence until it's not. So this has been a crazy week. They announced the first 16 of 60 bands all of a sudden, starting like 2 days ago. Some of the ones we've got so far: Hyrax, Violence, Heathen, Amorphous, Dark Tranquility, Skeletal Remains, a couple of black metal bands I don't know, and then some power metal like TYR and Beast in Black. But again, just a first few bands. Bookings open. So as of Wednesday, the 2nd, if you've been 10 or more times, you could book. As of Friday, if you've been 3 or more times, you can book.
Wow.
And then they'll do those who have been 1 or 2 times, and then general public. And we don't know those dates just yet.
So if you're a newcomer, I guess you have to wait.
Yeah, you go at the end. So there's
Oh,
always like stuff available.
okay.
But this is another cool thing about 70K. It's the only festival where if you're a regular or you've been at least once, you're going to get preferential treatment. It's
Okay.
not like me every year at Vakken having to stay in a hotel that next night and wait online for 5 hours trying to book a ticket with the guy
Right.
going for the first time, right? So I love the fact that they make that special privilege to people who go again.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Dates, if anyone's interested, January 29th to February 2nd. One stop, as always, in the Caribbean, this time Nassau in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
So
Are you
that's,
going, Billy?
oh, yeah, for sure. No doubt.
I figured you dumb question asked, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty much nowadays, that's kind of my favorite as I get older. So
yeah,
there's no way I'm missing that.
cool.
And then what's spinning? We talked about the Triumph, and then just this thing. I found there's a new reissue that just came out, and I only had it on CD, but it's caused me to spin it over and over again.
Oh, good album.
Yeah, no
Well, that's
kidding.
a great album.
So
I
Leeway,
love that album.
Born to
Yeah,
Expire from, was it 89? Not 90. It must be 88 or 89.
89.
89,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's made me fall in love with it again.
Oh, I love that album. Yeah, I have that album too. It's great.
And I see they just reissued their second album. The name I don't
Oh,
remember, but it's now. And it was funny because for those of us in Toronto, I noticed that at Sonic Boom they were selling the reissue of the second album. I was pretty shocked.
oh, were they? Oh, I didn't see it there. Okay,
Yeah, it
cool.
came out last Friday.
Oh, okay. I haven't
CD,
been in a while.
CD and vinyl.
Oh, cool. I should go pick it up.
Yeah, I don't know how many CDs they got, so don't blame me
Yeah,
if it's gone.
I'm sure that would be gone now, but
Yeah.
take a
It's
look.
even like Ken, I don't know if this is slightly off topic, but at that record store, if you sign up every Saturday, you get the email with their new CDs and new vinyl. It was on there for both.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't think
Sign
I've
up.
signed up. I don't think I've signed up.
Yeah, because you get it every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday. Okay, cool. I'll sign up because it's good. It's good to know what new stuff's coming.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, cool.
Album Desperate Measures.
What's that?
Is the second album Desperate Measures?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. It's like 91 or something like that, or 90 or something.
Yeah, 91 had a couple albums.
What's that, Billy?
I was saying 91 rings a bell, but I could be wrong.
I think it's 91. Yeah, they only had a couple albums that they put out. The first album is fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, I forgot how good the damn thing is.
Oh yeah, I love that album. It's one of my favorite albums.
Maybe that'll be a future episode.
That'd be awesome. I mean, it's a great crossover thrash album, so why not?
Do you know it, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you? Can you guys hear me, or am I delayed?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
You can
sometimes.
Hear
me? Sometimes it sounds like you go in and out a little bit, like you're talking, and it's.
Oh.
That's what I'm noticing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Okay, cool. All right, so that's it for me on what's spinning. So let's keep going. We got a lot of topics to try to get to.
Yep.
So not going to do a bio. You know, we've already done an Annihilator episode. Their famous Alice in Hell. I mean, a couple facts about this album. It was released in 1990. Jeff continued to be, no surprise, the main songwriter. But the one most notable item, and I'm sure it'll come up here and there, will be the change of vocalist. So Randy Rampage is off the vocals, and we have Coburn Farr, who sadly recently passed away, doing the vocals on the album. So I don't know, anything else you guys would mention notable before we start?
No, I think you hit it all, Billy.
Okay.
When I saw the Annihilator live stream last year,
yeah,
Jeff gave some stories, and one of the stories, which I brought up on the Alice in Hell podcast, was the fact that Randy left band to go back for his union job as a stevedore in the harbor in Vancouver. And so he left like mid-tour of they're on, I think it was a European tour with Testament. So they had to, like, the record company and them had to move quick to get a new singer because he didn't want to give up his health benefits.
Yeah.
Job there. So it's just kind of.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. He was a character, that guy, though.
Yeah.
From what I've read about him, he was a character.
Because he came back, right? He did another album later on. I
Right,
think there were more crazy stories about his exit.
Yeah. He did the 2 albums with the band, and that was it.
Yeah. Well. Okay, so we got a couple questions. Going to keep them somewhat brief. I got 4 to ask you guys. So naturally, you got a second album by a pretty popular band. I think it's safe to say. How do you say Neverland compared to Alice in Hell? Ken, we'll start with you.
Well, I think it's equally as good, if not better. I mean, the one thing I do like about it is that the vocalist they hired is, I guess he's comparable to Randy. He has a bit more of a husk. Well, he doesn't have a huskier voice like Randy has, but he's great on all the songs. He nails every song that he sings on. And I think the biggest thing for me I noted is that the guitars are so much better on the second album than the first. Like, the first is great, but the second album is even better. Like, there's some tracks with those solos are just ripping it up big time for me. So I think the second album is it's probably a little bit better, and I think it's way more thrashier than the original. I mean, the Alice in Hell is pretty good, but it's kind of melodic and mellow in many parts. But the last 3 songs in this album are pure thrash. They're all huge major thrashers. So I think this is a major improvement from the first album.
Cool.
And I like the first album still too.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about Alice in Hell. It's great.
Yep. Jim, what would you add here?
Pretty much the same as Ken. I mean, I think they could go 1 or 2 or 2 and 1 for me.
Yeah.
That at any day of the week. I mean, there's so many there's great hits on this album, classic Annihilator, and then on the first album, the first album is really special because obviously it was their debut, and it's just so cool. But I got to admit, the follow up was just as good. And for me, you could ask me on different days, and I'd say this is my number one. I'd say that's my number one. So pretty much even for me, both albums neck and neck. I agree with Ken. I think it's a little bit more seasoned than the first album, but oh man, like there's you have got Phantasmagoria, which is one of my songs of all time, but then you've got Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade, which is one of my favorite songs. So I could match the album up, and it would be probably equal. But yeah, for the vocalist change, I mean, I loved Randy. I thought he was great, a definite character. But I mean, Coburn, he did a great job. In some ways, it's even hard to tell the difference on some songs. And that for me, really, I think, and that for me and maybe many fans is why both albums are kind of a 1-2 punch, because there wasn't a massive change. But I do think they do sound a bit more seasoned. Instrumentally, it's probably a little tighter, but great albums, the two of them.
Cool. It's funny, we've talked about this a couple of times, whether it be the Annihilator podcast, the previous one, or when somehow we brought it up. And to me, I've always said Alice in Hell is a mile ahead of Neverland, and like they're not even comparable. But so I mean, I can admit when I'm wrong, and so I started listening to this album. First because I had to because of the podcast. I mean, I like Annihilate. I never said it was a bad album. But then I listened to it, and then before I knew it, I had it on 7 or 8 times this week. And that's not because I had to do the podcast. I don't need to hear it that many times. It's because I love the goddamn thing. Like so it's just like I was just wrong. Like my I don't know, maybe this came out in 90 and I was already moving on to death metal and didn't give it a fair chance. But yeah, all the stuff you guys said is 100% true. It is more mature. I think the guitar playing's better. It's more technical. It's tighter. It just completely knocked my socks off. So like I don't know if I can guarantee it's equally as good. And I think I might fall into Ken's camp and say it's now better, which is a complete change of direction for me. But that's all right. Okay, cool. So next question. So this is interesting, right? So this came out in 1990. I've always said 89, 90 are probably the biggest years in metal and thrash, and all the bands were kind of plus or minus a year at their peak. So how do you think this album compared with the year's top releases? Did it get top billing, or was Neverland still a few notches below some of the big hitters that year? Jim, we'll start with you this time.
Oh, I think, my God, I don't think it was a notch below. I think at the time where they were only a second album band in, maybe it kind of fell a little bit like that because they were against so many massive albums. You had Slayer, Megadeth. You got all the big guys releasing, and then the influx of death metal classics that were coming in. So maybe only being a second album in, but their first album was so strong. Personally, for me, I think this album can fight it out, duke it out with any of those releases from that year. Totally, I think it. And even now, looking back, I think it's kind of sad because obviously the first two singers have now passed. I don't think anybody realized. Well, not anybody. I just don't think maybe how it was kind of lightning in a bottle with these albums. And I really think that, I don't know, maybe a little bit more stability or whatever, things would have been turned out a little bit different. I do like many of the albums that ensued, but these two albums just have such a special place. And this album being one of my top ones, I mean, it'll duke it out with anything from the 1990s.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, there were some big 1990s, right? You had Rust in Peace, you had Persistence of Time, Seasons in the Abyss, Twisted into Form, Souls of Black, Lights Camera, which we just did, Entombed, Obituary, Death. I mean, and then of course you had like Alice in Chains coming out with Facelift.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
just
yeah.
had so many different and death metal coming in. At least in North America, I always felt they got lost a bit. I know they've always been significantly bigger in Europe, but like, they were still, unfortunately, if they did a tour by themselves, playing a tiny little club. Whereas obviously all those bands were, playing major halls. But oh well, what can you do? Great band either way. Ken, your thoughts?
Yeah, the same. Like I like the album, but I think they're just what you've just like listed off, and I could add on to that with like Creator,
Yeah.
The American Way, which is a great album, Prong and Beg to Differ, Impact is Imminent. Like when you really think about it, I would have liked this album, but I don't know if I got a lot of attention from me back in 1990. I heard it, but I think I was way more involved in the Big Four and other stuff. And
Mm.
even Sacrifice, they released their album Soldiers of Misfortune, which is a killer album. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's maybe I have a different opinion now because we were listening, playing and hearing it. So of course now I'm like, oh, this is a really good album, and it's equally as good as anything that we just listed off. But I think back in the day, I don't know if I would have specifically said, oh, this album is amazing. I would have heard it and liked it, but I think my attention would have been taken to the other many of the other albums that we talked about. But
Yeah.
in retrospect, now, yeah, now I would think differently after hearing it and listening to it all this week. Like you, Billy, I listened to this like seven to eight times during the week, and it's like, yeah, it's really good. It's really
Yep.
good.
No, exactly. Okay, next question. I think we briefly touched on it, so if feel free to say pass if you got nothing to add. But so the main change here, the addition of Coburn Farr. So let me know your thoughts on his vocals, but specifically, do you think Jeff? And I don't know the exact timing, like whether Jeff, when he wrote this, knew Coburn would be singing or didn't know. But do you think, I guess what I'm getting at, does Coburn kind of match these songs better than Randy Rampage would have? Jim, we'll start with you.
No, I think I don't know. I think from what I understand, I think it was a quick transition from singer to singer because
Hmm.
back then the record company was obviously putting a lot of push on a second album because the first album was so successful. And I think they tried to maybe match the vocals, so there wasn't a big change. I'm wondering if he knew that Coburn would be there for the long haul. I'm not sure, but I think he did a great job. I think he did a great job on this album. I'll be honest. I think that Randy Rampage would have sung these songs just as good, uh,
Yeah.
adding his kind of punkish, little bit more gruff sound to it, like especially on the Fun Palace or even Stonewall. Stonewall has like I mean, I know we're going to talk about the songs, but Stonewall has a little bit more of kind of an anthraxy sound, so a little bit more of a punky sound for me. But you know what? I think it's a great, and I'll be honest, when I was younger, I probably didn't even realize there was a vocal change till years later. I got to be honest. But I mean, I think he did a great job kind of picking up that baton. And again, Jet, the brainchild of Waters, this project, this band, I mean, he just hit a 1-2 punch. And you ask any Annihilator fan, they'll either have this or the first one as their favorite album, or they go back and forth like me. And I think that's a testament to the players and the singers that he got. So, I don't see much. I don't know. I think either singer would have done just as good. And I would say the same thing for Coburn on the first one. I mean, it's a little bit more raw, a little bit, but I still think he would have probably kicked ass on it as well.
Hmm. Yeah, good point. I guess the only thing that comes out to me is on a couple of the songs, like the title track and even Stonewall, there's a couple areas where the vocal is a bit more melodic or a bit cleaner or a
Yeah.
bit more, not poppy, but like a bit more like rock oriented at times. I mean, there's lots of heavy parts for sure, but there's a couple nuances to the track. And I don't know, in my mind, I love Randy Rampage. I'm not sure he would have handled those as well. But I guess we'll never know. I mean, but Ken,
True.
what do you think?
Yeah, I'm leaning more to what Jim was saying. I think they are interchangeable. There are some slight differences to their vocal styles. Randy has a bit more of a raspier voice, or Coburn's a bit more cleaner. But I think he sings in a very similar manner as Randy. So I think that, like you said, we'll never know who would have been better on what album, but I think I think the vocals do complement each other. So I'm good with either, to be honest. I
Hmm.
like them both.
I might be totally wrong on this. Like, did Coburn Farr? Was he ever on an Omen album or no?
He could have been. I don't know offhand.
I don't know his like history well. I mean, I guess shame on me for not looking it up. But other than
I
this
don't
album,
think
that's all I know him by.
Yeah, I don't think he played on an Omen.
Maybe not.
It sounds like he would be linked to Omen, but I don't think so.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
not too
not.
sure.
Do you know
I'm
when
not
he
a
did you?
yeah, I can't remember offhand.
Okay.
I've only heard a couple Omen albums, but I can't. I don't know.
Or
I'd
just
have
any
to look that up.
bands in general? I don't know. Because presumably
I
he
don't,
didn't pull him out of nowhere.
he might have. Yeah,
Maybe.
but who knows? Maybe the studio picked him up. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the record company wanted him. I don't know.
Okay,
I
cool.
don't know much about his history.
Yeah, me neither.
A
I know
family.
he's a good vocalist. Did you find something, Jim?
No, it's hard to track down. It's like even just trying to find out where he's been. I'd have to look on Metallium Encyclopedia to see.
Okay, no worries. I didn't know if you guys knew off the top of your head. We can.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think he. To be honest, Billy, I don't think he's very well known,
yeah,
except for
maybe not.
Annihilator.
Yeah,
I don't
sounds
think he even
like
had another band after Annihilator. To be honest,
could be.
I, I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Okay, let's not harp on that. So then, just quickly, album artwork. Ken, we'll let you start in your area of expertise.
Yeah, again, like we talked about this on the first album. It's Len Rooney Creative who did this album as well, and Len Rooney is a very well known Canadian graphic artist situated in BC. So it has a lot of the hallmarks. Kind of the first album where it's kind of like this is sort of the cover itself is was created by Jeff Waters. He came up with the concept, so it's got that kind of very creepy, eerie landscape, with that ghostly figure in the background. Very kind of dark fantasy. Because some of the lyrics on here kind of rival the dark fantasy elements. So yeah, it's great. I like this cover. I like it quite a bit actually. I think it's pretty cool. Like the first album.
I just realized I didn't pull out the album, but oh well.
Oh,
Uh,
I didn't either actually.
so, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the artwork kind of matches the music, kind of matches the lyrical content. So it all goes well and a nice sort of continuation off the first album. Jim,
Yeah, that's what I
thoughts?
think.
Yeah.
Agree with you guys. It's wicked. I kind of like it. I mean, I definitely love the Annihilator logo. It's one of the most recognizable logos. Besides, it says Annihilator, so I guess it would be. But no, I just love it. I think it's great. It's ghostly, like the first one, kind of haunting, and I think it's a great continuation right from this first album.
Cool. All right. So let's tackle the albums, the individual songs. So this album starts out with the Fun Palace. Jim, we'll let you kick off this segment.
Oh yeah, what a killer track to start off the album. I mean, one of the best songs in their whole catalog, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
It's
it's a good
intro. It's the one thing I notice about this track starting right off is the killer bass line throughout it. The bass is very, very predominantly focused on, and it's at 1 minute and 1 second roughly. The vocals cut in, and it's just wicked riffing. And I love the high pitched kind of riffs that go on throughout the song. It's got a great solo. And the chorus is awesome, and it's kind of like I don't know. It gives me the version, like I mean, Ken would probably know more than me about the lyrics meaning, but it's kind of got a creepy clown vibe for me. So I really, really like it. And this was one of the songs they played on there when they did their live stream for the first album. They did a couple off of this, and this was one of them. So that was definitely a treat. One of my favorites on the album.
Cool. Ken?
Okay, before we start, Billy, I did look it up. So he did sing an Omen. He was.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're right. So you're bang on.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Anyone else that we would know of?
And another band called Prisoner. So he was an Omen and a band called Prisoner, which I've never heard of.
Oh, okay, me neither. All right, cool. Yeah. Thanks for checking.
No problems. So yeah, Fun Palace. Yeah, I agree, Jim. This is as an opening song, it's really strong. I mean, like the lyrical content is all about a surreal place that you go to confront your nightmares. That's why it's called the Fun Palace. So it does have that kind of creepy circus horror vibes, which is kind of a trope these days in most movies and books and stuff. But I guess back then it was kind of a rarity. But yeah, the song itself is great. Like I love that. Like for me, there's that one moment at like 150 where you get that like da 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 bit, and then at 159 it goes right into that great tempo, and it builds up to the solo, which is fantastic. And I like how Coburn sings the song where he's got that bit of a higher register at times, and it works. It really gels well with the song. I think this is a fantastic song in my mind, and the solo here is just dynamite. I totally love the solo, but as an opening song, this is a killer song.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree with you guys. It's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, somebody already mentioned it. The bass up front is so cool. The chorus is incredibly memorable. But like my favorite is like that section at 252. Like Jeff has this, and there's probably a proper guitar technical name for it. I don't know what it is, but he does that like escalating riff on the note. Like it sounds so creepy, and then it goes into like acoustic guitar. Coburn switches to melodic vocals, and then Jeff just shreds into the solo. Like I just love that whole like minute section in the middle of the song. Just the song has a very like menacing feel. I love it too. Great track. So Ken, we'll stick with you. Road to Ruin, track number 2.
Yeah, again, I like this song as well. It's like a lyrically, it's a cautionary tale of drunk driving, which is interesting, I guess. So they flip the switch around. It's a short song, but it has a really quick tempo. It's a speedy track. I mean, I like Coburn. He has a scream here at like the 120 mark. That's really cool. The solo is great. I like the solo. I even like the ending of the song when you get the sound of the car crash.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me a bit of a Megadeth song for some reason. I recall when they did their song I think it was album. They did similar song. It reminds me of that, but not as cheesy. But this is a good song too. Road to Ruins is great.
Yep. No, it's a good one. Jim?
Yeah. I mean, this is another, like, this album is so full of great songs that this isn't even this is kind of maybe an underrated gem in my mind. Like it follows, it's smack dab between two really good songs, but this is just as heavy, just as good. It's got that kind of cool melodic chug to it that I really like. And I love the car crash thing. And I kind of chuckled when Ken brought up the Megadeth song there.
Yeah.
Where it was like, Dave doing this, sit down, asshole, and stuff like that. Shithead.
Yeah. Shithead, yeah. Cops.
So I like, but I mean, it's a cool track. I think, placement on the album, they really did a good job. I mean, you only have 10 songs on this album, which is perfect for me. I don't want any more than 10 songs. So
exactly.
I think that's great. And no, I love where it's at. And it just rides into the third song, which is another banger.
Yeah, no, I like it too. I think you guys hit on everything. It's a little bit more straightforward in
Mhm.
terms of surprises and jumping around, but it's only three. It's shorter than some of the other songs on this record, so that's to be expected. And no surprise, Jeff is the superstar here. Man, like the chugging riffs and the solo, and oh, it's so damn good. Like, yeah, very impressive. So that'll bring us to track number three, sixes and sevens. Jim, why don't you take this one?
Oh yeah, this is another solid song. And leading up to that, and I keep going ahead of myself here, leading into the next track. But I mean,
Yeah.
this I love that cool kind of acousticy type that kind of I say it kind of riffs up, and that's what I like. And I mean, it's got just a speedier, really galloping chug in it. I think this is probably the best chug on the album. 118, the vocals cut in. It's got another memorable chorus, but like this is going to be a constant vein through the album. I love the vocals, and yeah, Jeff's guitar work on this album is just phenomenal. And but no, this is a great song, great song. I love it. And like many other songs, they've got that memorable chorus, so it really creates that earworm in your head when you're done listening to it. It kind of sticks with you. This is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love that. I mean, the chorus is straightforward, but like when
Yeah.
Coburn just says sixes and seven, like it just sounds like amazing. Like it's, I love it. Ken, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, now that chorus sixes and sevens actually relates to a British idiom,
Oh,
and the idiom is basically, and this I know that Jeff loves this kind of stuff. It refers to being in a state of confusion or disorder. That's what it's taken from. So it's a British idiom. So I think it's clever, and I like how they use it here because all the lyrics are kind of they grapple with the idea of mental and emotional overload. So it's great. It's great, and the song I think reflects that. The one thing I wanted to point out about the song for me was that it's got a melodic opening, but then like at 34 seconds, you get this little bit of a very rush vibe, and it's really quick, and it's like, whoa, that's kind of interesting. And then it goes into that first chug, which is fantastic. And all the riffing is great here. The tempo change is great. The one at 3:30 I really like, and the solo again. The solo. What can I tell you about that solo? It's bang on. It's a bang on song. It's great.
Yep. No, I'm not going to argue with any of those points. And like for me, it just there's this whole like musical segment like from 2:25 to 4 minutes, and like it's you got the riffs and Jeff's like ridiculously good solo. Like I just couldn't wipe the smile off my face. I kept going back and replaying this musical section. It gets super aggressive and thrashy. Yeah, it's so damn good. And so three tracks in and. Yeah, pretty impressive so far.
Mhm.
So that'll bring us to track number four, staying with you, Ken, Stonewall.
Oh yeah, so Stonewall is even a better track. Like you can see where the songs go up and up and up, and then you get Stonewall, and it's great too. It's another great quick thrasher in my mind. And the lyrics want to go back talking about industrial pollution and corporate greed, which is fine. I like it for that reason. But it's got that quick thrash tempo for 45 seconds, and it dips slightly into like a bit of a melodic territory before it goes back to the speedy tempo. I love that. That's kind of a theme in a lot of the songs for Jeff and the way he structures the songwriting. And the chorus is great. I love this chorus in this. And I even love Coburn's more. He has a very melodic range of about
Yeah,
2 minutes in when he says it's time to listen and time to listen and hear her cry. I love that part. That's so
yeah.
great. And it's got some a really meaty tempo. And with the solo, it just puts like a cherry on top of the song. I think this is a fantastic song.
Yep, no, it's great. And that part you mentioned with Coburn, like the more that was when I mentioned this song about whether Randy, like I somehow I can't see Randy doing that part, but that particular part, but who the hell knows? So let's not
Yeah, it's hard to say.
focus on
Coburn
that. Yeah,
Coburn has a bit of a different range. I mean,
yeah,
like I said, they're very comparable, but Coburn might be just slightly a better
yeah.
season singer in my mind. I
yeah.
think, but like you say, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, like I would just call out like the slower section you talked about. Like Jeff has some cool like classical oriented guitar playing that he sort of puts on display there. And the chorus is just so anthemic, right? It's a total sing-along track. Jim, what would you add?
Oh yeah, we're now hitting 4 for 4 out of 10. So
Yeah.
far, 4 songs. I mean, this is one of my favorite songs in their catalog. Like there's so many, in the first 2 albums, I probably make up my top 10 Annihilator songs. But this
Yeah.
is phenomenal. And I agree with Billy. After I had written down, melodic vocals, a bit more softer rather than the raspy. And I gotta admit, yeah, it would be hard to think that. I think Coburn is probably more of a technical vocalist, if there is such a thing, more so than kind of. I picture Randy Rampage taking off his leather jacket, grabbing the mic, and just doing it, like, and just I picture that. I don't know why, but I do, and there's something to be said for that too. But I mean, yeah, this has got wicked melody. I think it's got a massive Anthrax vibe for me. I think just even the chorus, Stonewall, I think it just sounds so Anthraxy to me. And those, what else do I got written here? Those melodic fills on this are just so good. And the song has, and it's a heavy, heavy song too. I mean, it's one of the best ones. And this was another one they picked off this album that they did live with the first album. So that's kind of cool. And I love this track. It's phenomenal. One of my favorites.
Yeah. That may have been the album single or one of them, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I
So
think
I
it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
think Phantasmagoria, I believe.
Was that
No,
a single?
That
never,
was okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Cool.
Stonewall was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So Jim, stay with us here. Neverland, the title track,
Oh,
6,
I
number
don't
5.
track.
Killer track. I mean, I love that cool kind of slower intro, but it cuts in with a Dave Mustaine Megadeth riff. And I'm not trying to compare as that sound to me. As soon as I heard it, it sounded like something Mustaine would have played, just that one riff. And then it's amazing. It breaks into a wicked thrash chug at 112. That cool guitar riff leads into the vocals at 130, and it kind of is one long riff, which is pretty cool. It's a bit of a slower track, but then at 226, that heavy song, it just blasts in, and it creates more of a darker chug for me, and I like that. And then it's just at 325, the song just keeps getting faster and heavier, and there you get this sort of. What's exciting about this song is you haven't heard any of this on the first 4 tracks. So here they are halfway through the album, and they're hitting another home run. I like the ebb and the flow with the way the song goes, especially in the last minute and 30, where it kind of goes and then it fades out. I think this is, and I can't remember, I think this is the longest, no, second longest track on the album. So they get a lot of time to really walk around on this one, and it needs it. I mean, it doesn't even feel like it's 5 minutes, 29 seconds long. It's that good. Love it.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan too, right? This thing, like this is represents this album, right? Like Jeff's songwriting is more mature. He's developed as a songwriter. I mean, this thing takes you on a journey, right? There, the pace is shifting. There's multiple twists and surprises when you hear it for the first time. I mean, there's that slower part that's even almost ballad-like. That was that other section where I think Coburn would do a better job on. The bass is very good here. It's really up front. Like I love that part when Coburn says "get back," and then like Jeff's heavy riffing kicks in. That's really cool. And yeah, no, I agree. I like the guitar-driven outro on the song. So much to love here. Ken, what would you add?
Well, keep in mind this song is also a continuation from Alice in Hell because it continues the character. So here, she's a bit older and she's institutionalized now. So while she's institutionalized, she retreats into a fantasy world to cope with her confinement. Well, so that's why the lyrics talk about this doll named Claire, which apparently is like her sort of, I guess, represents her mental state. So she's trapped in a room, she's disconnected from time, and then she's resisting the outside world and all that stuff. So it's great. And I know Jeff has actually said that he was fascinated by psychological elements of this character. That's why she returned in the second song, and I think that's why it's a bridge from album 1 to album 2, which is great. Unfortunately, this is the last time that this character appears in one of their songs, but I think it's fantastic. And I know Jeff said that at one point he actually said he would picture himself being a psychologist if he wasn't a musician. So I thought that was kind of an interesting quote that he made. But yeah, this song is epic. It's an epic song for me. Like, the melody and the heavy riffs, they work well together. There's a lot of chuggier moments after 3 minutes in, and I like Coburn's vocals here. Like, he can switch from melodic to kind of more husky sounding. He's great. This is a great song.
That's interesting. You said that about a continuation. I kind of figured it was, but I didn't really know. But I would have loved to hear maybe kind of almost like a concept album of the character.
Yes.
That would have been great for maybe album number 3, although I liked album number 3 as well, but I think maybe more to find out where the character goes, what exactly happens, would have been really cool. Would have been kind of a good continuation. I think he was on to something here.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah.
I would like to see him and Set the World on Fire, but they sort of abandoned that character. But it's too bad. But you get 2 songs of it. Yeah. So for me, I can't complain.
Yeah. It's funny, Jim, I don't know why this jumped in my head now, but Jim, you were talking about the podcast or the live cast that Jeff did, and some of these songs on it, and this being like a continuation of Alice in Hell, and it makes me think of the doll. And so Jeff did a post today, and he's selling everything from that live stream. Like, cool. Those dolls that he had on the live stream, Jim, you would probably, well, I saw the picture, so I guess I know. But he's selling those for like 70 pounds each.
Oh, wow.
One of those dolls he's selling, like, there were 5 backdrops he used, and they're being sold from like 2,000 to 4,000 pounds. So anything that you saw in that live stream, Jim, he's selling it all effective today.
Yeah, I saw that on his thing. I didn't know they were from that, but the dolls he intermissions, it was really cool. Like that, I mean, he said doing that first album at his age right now, I mean, they did a hell of a job, and it was one of the best things I've ever seen. And releases it on a DVD or puts it out there, because I know that it's been online a couple of times, but they've been taking it down. But what's neat about it is, the dolls they would use, because every 2 songs they'd have like a couple minute intermission, they would just home in on the doll. That was pretty cool, and the backdrops in that were really, it was pretty funky. The dolls are really, really good, Ken. They'd be perfect for your collection.
Yeah, I was just thinking that I would love to get one.
Unfortunately, the pound to Canadian dollar, I mean, it might be approaching 2 times. So it would cost like 100 with shipping. It'd be like $180 or something to Canada.
I figured, I figured
for us. But he also had some banners from some older tours he threw in there too. But some of those banners are massive. I don't know how you'd have to have like a big garage or a huge basement to put it up in. But
you have a signed guitar, don't you, Billy?
Yeah, I have a signed guitar and nice. A case that I worked a deal with Jeff.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I sidetracked us a bit there. So getting us back, Ken, we'll stick with you. Imperiled Eyes, track number 6.
Oh, this is my favorite song on the album. I love this album. It's like it's classic thrash, and classic thrash metal with like a conscience. So it gets brutal riffs, and you get paired with like a message that kind of hits you really hard. And like the song's a commentary on environmental destruction and humanity's like self-inflicted doom. I think it's great. I love how the lyrics like paint this dystopian vision of the earth ravaged by centuries of war, waste, and then like unchecked power. So it's great. But what I love here is that the chugs and the riffs at the start, the first minute of the song, woo, incredible. And then it shifts into that melody, and it goes into heavier riffs. So like at 135, you're getting these super, super speedy, chuggy riffs. And then Coburn comes in at that point, and the chorus is great. I love how he sings the chorus. It's just beautifully sung, the way he those words like roll off his tongue. But I think here this what I like about it is that there's a lot of shifting tempos. It goes slow, fast. Chorus when he gets the Imperial Lies. I love that chorus. It's really, really catchy for me. And then, even Colbert himself, like he has a few shrieks, compliments here that which is great. But to me, it's a killer thrash song. I totally love the song.
Yeah, no, it's a classic, like Annihilator banger for sure. Jim, what do you think?
Well, I love the fact you said that, Billy, because the first line is has that classic Annihilator in.
I'm peeking at your notes.
And I guys, this thing is just friggin' amazing. And at 150, I kind of like that little interlude it goes into. It's cool.
Yeah.
And now that I'm starting to remember, like obviously I played this album. I do listen to this album fairly often. But now I'm thinking this would be another song that probably Randy probably couldn't pull off as good as Coburn does on this, just because But I love the chorus as well. Like Ken said, it's memorable, and it's just those up tempo riffs. I mean, this is another. Every one of these, like you're on the sixth song, and you've got nothing that's a copy from the first part of the album. Nothing. I mean,
no.
6 for six really awesome tracks, and yeah, I absolutely love this. I keep saying the same thing after every song. I won't on the next.
Of course you won't.
Keep going wrong ahead.
Yeah, no, like I'm a big fan of this, and yeah, you guys said it all. The only thing I note here, and again, I've been talking about how I think Coburn, probably deals with some of these vocal parts better than Randy might. But like this song, and there's one coming, it might be 8 or 9, when he does those high screams. I don't find he's as good at that. Like if you listen to him in the mix, he goes way back in the mix. Like the vocals fall back in. It's like Jeff knows he's not pulling those notes off, and they bury those screams in the mix. But I don't know. That's the only little nitpick that I noticed on this
Well,
track.
they're still effective though, Billy.
Yeah,
It's still kind of effective. I know what you're saying. It's not like as prolific with some vocalists where they can pull that off. But I
yeah.
think it works. I think it works.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I said it's nitpicking, but
Yeah.
like I do think if he pulled it better, they wouldn't bury him in the mix for the screen.
True. You're probably right.
So Jeff, yeah, I mean, you'd stick that right out front, right? That's what.
Yeah, exactly. You would.
Like if you had Jeff Tate's doing that, you're not going to bury him in the mix when he does that Queen of the Reich yell.
Oh God, yes, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you guys. That's a great one. So yeah, we briefly alluded to track number 7. This one follows with Jim. So
go for it, Jim.
Craft dinner.
Yeah. Fun guy. I like fun songs, but this album is so awesome that we wanted to keep the momentum going. And this, being a Canadian, we all know what Craft Dinner is. As kids, and it's still available. You still eat it. It used to be like 50 cents back in the day for a box of it, and you could put as much cheese in as you wanted, and it was easy. Mom would let you make it. So yeah, and I can imagine these guys probably lived on it, especially during these albums when they were just starting. But the song is just it's okay. It's a fun track, but it has no business on this album. I'm sorry. I get it. They probably owe their food intake to Craft Dinner, but now bands are probably eating Mr. Noodles, but this would be definitely an easier song, Craft Dinner. But I mean, because it's smack dab between two massive songs.
Yes.
Kind of a fun song. Maybe an extra track it should have been, and we should have got something else. That's what I think. My opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say, like, I don't mind it. Like, musically, it's fine. Like, I think the lyrics are a bit silly.
Stupid,
are stupid. Yeah, I didn't want to be that blunt, but there you go. So that kind of bugs me. But overall, if I just say how did the vocals sound, the guitar, it's not the end of the world. Like I've heard a lot worse things than that. So like I guess I don't mind it on there, and they put it in the right place if you're going to do that. And so yeah, I mean Kraft Dinner, and so I did look up the name in the U.S. So they market it as Kraft Mac and Cheese
Ah,
in a
okay,
box.
okay,
It's a different
right,
looking box,
okay,
but it's close.
makes sense.
Ken, what do you got?
Well, like in the spirit of our Canada Day special, I mean, craft dinner. So I mean, I let it slide for this for that reason alone. It's not one of my favorite songs. I find it funny when he sings I love," and it's like, okay, it's a goofy song, but I guess where it's placed, it's fine. It's in between two gigantic killer tracks, so I could live with it. Like I could, you get a breather and you come back into the whole next amazing song. But I think it's okay for what it is. It's okay.
Did
Okay.
you have,
That's all I got on it.
you
Go
guys
ahead,
have
Ken.
on your craft dinner? I used to put ketchup on mine.
Ew.
Actually, I think I might have too.
You put ketchup on yours? Oh,
I
I
think
never done
so.
that.
And I never
No.
put ketchup on a hot dog. I only do like mustard.
Yeah, me neither. I don't like ketchup on a hot dog. It's gross.
But it's funny. Like every now and then, I get a killer craving for Kraft Dinner, and I'll buy a box.
You know what I like? Just a little sidetrack. They have the Chester Cheetahs craft dinner.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love that. I've had it a couple times, and I fucking hate craft dinner because as a kid, I grew up on it because I came from a lower middle class background, so my parents didn't have a lot of money. So as a kid, we had four kids in my four. There was four of us in the family, so we ate that shit a lot. I hate it, but I actually like the Chester Cheetah. I actually think it's great because I like Cheetos and it tastes like Cheetos. I don't know. It's weird, but I don't mind it.
Billy, when I go to Montreal, I love the fact they put sauerkraut on the hot dogs. That's
Woo! Sauerkraut.
Yeah. Well, they definitely put coleslaw.
yeah.
Yeah. Like not many do sauerkraut, but
Yeah.
just being part German, like there's definitely a difference.
Oh,
Fair.
Sorry, Jim, were you saying something?
no.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean Montreal, in my opinion, makes the best hot dog. Like the basic Montreal steamy. Like they
Yes.
only steam
Yeah.
their hot dogs. They don't cook them on a pan or a
Or
grill. Like it's
grill.
always
Yeah, yeah.
steamed. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah. I've had a Montreal hot dog. They are good.
yeah. No, for sure. Okay, so track number 8. I think this is Ken's least favorite. We're
Yeah.
gonna start there. Phantasmagoria.
Oh no, this is an awesome song too. Like, oh, like it's a killer thrash song. Like to me, heavy chugs. Like it's just a tempo 112. Like it really takes off. It gets a blistering tempo, and it's great. You can't go wrong with this one. I also think that this kind of sort of the way it's sung, it has a little bit of Randy's kind of flair. So you're getting a little bit of a huskier, raspier vocal sound on it. The riffs are great. It's a very, very dark track about the realm of the psychological horror and supernatural torment. So it's got a kind of horror, a person trapped in a nightmarish, like ghost infested mental landscape. So I think the cover kind of really on the album plays into this song quite a bit. But it's a great song. For me, it's a super great thrash song.
Hmm. Sounds like it would be the name of a movie or something.
Well, the movie Phantasm would come to mind. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like horror sounding.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you get
Jim.
that with the lyrics.
Yeah. Jim, I'm guessing you're a big fan too.
Love this song. This song is tied for my number one song from their catalog with Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade. And gee, that might hit my top 10. Anyways, but this is just phenomenal. I mean, this is like, and this was the third song they sung on that live stream as well. Hard chug. I mean, at 1:30 the vocals cut in. There's nothing, Ken pretty much hit it all. I love it. I think Randy could sing this, no problem.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Just this could have been even off the first album, but a little bit more tighter and just, yeah. I mean, this is a killer track, and I think it's got perfect, like you just come out of craft dinner, which is a funny interlude, and then you just get back to business with this song. And yeah, it's like I say, it's probably tied with Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. And yeah, like for me, I think this is most, or maybe I Am in Command as well. Could have easily been on the first album as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, Jim, we'll stick with you. Track number 9, Reduced to Ash.
Another home run for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, oh my God, it's just got that such a classic thrash chug for me. And it's at 1:30 that solo. Jeff just, and it's just song after song, and he just lights it up. I mean, just it blows me away. And this is another one that's probably not as well known on the album as obviously the big hits, but I think it's one of my favorites on there. It's just so good. I love it. Another home run for me. Right now they're sitting at 8 out of 10. And will it be? I mean, and I'm not even gonna. I would rank this album a 10 out of 10, even with Craft Dinner on there. It doesn't hamper
No.
my album. I consider it a bonus track, but yeah, this is another top track for me.
Yep.
Cool.
Ken?
Yeah, this is a great song as well. I mean, as like the tempo, the supercharged tempo, like the heavy riffing, like it's the thrash template. They do it well here. I think they do it well in the last 3 songs. To me, they're all solid thrash songs, and I like the fact that you get, and it's a thing with thrash metal, like lyrics that kind of hark back to apocalyptic kind of a future of the world devastated by nuclear war, which is what this song is essentially about. But like when he says we're reduced to ash, which is what they're referring to. But the solo is really good. I agree. Jim has a really good solo, and it's just another ripper. It's a great song. I totally love this song.
Yep. No, nothing really for me to add. Agree with you. Other than, I think it's interesting. Jeff's little guitar solo at 2:42 is his one sort of Eddie Van Halen tribute on this record. That sounds like 100% Eddie Van Halen is playing the guitar. It's only like a 5-second thing at 2:42, but it's pure Eddie Van Halen, who of
Like,
course is like Jeff's one of his biggest
his
influences and idols, and hell, even his car is like designed like the album, like Van Halen album covers. His studio, like everything is like covered in like Eddie Van Halen stuff. So yeah, he's a big Eddie Van Halen fan. Okay, so that brings us to the closer. Ken, why don't you finish it off with I Am in Command?
Oh yeah, another great song. I'm in command. What a song. All about like they're critiquing televangelists and how corrupt religious leaders are. This song is great. Like it rips as well. Another blistering tempo. Like the riffing is so meaty. That first 45 seconds, wow. And then, it kind of stops and then it goes into a really, really heavy chug. And it's like that tempo, wow, it's incredible. And I like the chorus here. I think the whole chorus is really good. And Colburn's vocals are really good. He gets a little huskier at times, but and then Jeff just knocks out of the park with that solo. What a great song! I love this song. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. Like we always talk about finishing it off. There's no complaints about finishing with this strong, with
No,
this song, and it's such a good like thrash anthem, right? Like like you can see it like being played live, and everyone's fist raising. I am in command.
yep.
Yeah, it just, I mean, what else could you say, Jim? What else could you say?
Just that I love, like, yeah, I love it when the album starts and finishes. It starts, and like, man, every one of these songs on this album, this is no different. This is another top tier track, and I just love it. It's a great album from end to end. The riffs on this are amazing, and I think that this song could have been on the first album. We could have,
Mm.
you know, it just, I think the raspier vocals would have probably maybe showcased this a little bit more, but I think Coburn does a great job on it. And yeah, no, this is a keeper for sure. I mean, this just goes to show how strong this album is. Almost just the one which is set out to be a lighthearted, funny song, which it is. I mean, and that's great. But and even like you guys said, it's not like it's played bad or anything. Musically, it's a great track. It's just the lyrics are a little silly in it. But this album is just like this is a 10 out of 10 album for me, just like the first one is. I mean, today I picked this as my top, but tomorrow I could listen to Alice in Hell and think, oh yeah,
flip it.
Cool. All right, so let's keep things moving. So we'll move to the mixtape segment. So again, the only requirement, of course, is being Canadian. Not every member of the band has to be Canadian.
But the song, yes.
But it's got to be considered Canadian. So yeah, anywhere from 8 to 12 songs, or however many songs you guys have. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. Oh, you want to go? Go for it, Jim.
I'm good.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I mean, Jim even raised his hand, so you got to give it to him, Ken.
Yeah, of course. Go for it, Jim.
Because I actually made the album to start and end. Like I decided, I talk so much about I got to learn living my own mixtape here. So I got to start it on a high and end it on a high.
Cool.
I mean, that when you're picking the best of the best, but there's reasons. So the first one I'm starting at number 1, track 1. So we've got Helix Rock You. I know it's campy. It is their best anthemic song. Phenomenal. I like many other Helix songs in their catalog, but this is just a clear rocker metal, kind of get you up out of your chair right off the bat. Leading into my second pick, which would be Heavy Metal Shuffle by Kick-Axe. Oh, my, love Kick-Axe. I wish they had done more stuff, and I'm hearing rumors that there is going to be another album coming out. I think
cool.
3. But this is obviously from their debut. That's a killer album. Number 3, and I actually will have 2 entries from this band on there just because this is just so cool. I put this one in as my third song. 1, 2, 3 Punch. You got Voivod and Gallus. The reason why I picked that song is because that was their first. I mean, when they did their Morbid Tales, did their not so number 1 obvious hits, they put this on here, and I love the story that they couldn't figure out the lyrics for the song because nobody ever really wrote them down, or when they did, they lost all their information on it because they had to decipher it and they had to have one of their mothers go into the attic and look for but I mean, this is a kick-ass song. Condemned to the Gallows, it just keeps it going. Then I'm going to fly into another Canadian Big 4, Sacrifice, and I think I brought this up last week. Soldiers of Misfortune, the song, my favorite song on the album. I love it. Just kicks ass. Leading into another one, which we did a show on, which we did do a show on Sacrifice as well, as we all remember. Another show on Razor Evil Invaders. That was the first. I love the self-titled song on it. It's just, I remember putting that on when I first got my first, that tape, and going like, what the hell is this? Very similar to the first time I put on War and Pain by Voivod. So number 6, I'm flying into Annihilator, but I'm going with my favorite. Phantasmagoria, I'd be tied with it, but I'm going where we just talked about it. I'm going with Burns Like a Buzzsaw Blade. Love that song. Hearing them do that thing live, I mean, they were tired after that, and for good reason. That's just a killer track off their first album. Then I'm going to go into something a little bit more classic, and we go to Exciter, and I'm going to go with Heavy Metal Maniac. I love the fact...
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I've got 2 songs on here with heavy metal in the title, is I want it's heavy metal.
We could probably do entire playlists of songs that have heavy metal in it.
Yeah, I know.
There's so many, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to kind of go into my favorite Triumph song. So I picked a Triumph song. I saw this tour Spellbound, my favorite song.
Oh, good song.
Them on this tour with Helix, I think, opening. This would have been my second or third rock concert. And I love that song. That's just, and I know, like the Triumph album you showed there, Ken. There's so many great. That's one of my favorite albums. But this song just means that much. It was such a hit for them. Then I'm going to put things down a bit, but I consider them heavy metal. go totally commercial on this, and I am going Tom Sawyer. You cannot be that low in that, and I just every time I hear it, I mean, I'll stop it and return, like replay the solo in it just to hear that solo over and over and over again. That drum solo, it's phenomenal. And then I'm finishing up.
Jim, that's Rush's Tom Sawyer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good song.
Good
song.
And then I'm going to bookend it with Voivod, my favorite song by them, Tribal Convictions.
Woo!
God, I love that song. And I was going to go with Ravenous Medicine. I'll put that as maybe a bonus song on here, but I wanted to only go with 10, so I decided to throw that one on there. One of my favorite songs all time. And that's my mixtape.
Nice.
Well, we have some band overlaps.
Yeah.
But no song matches, which is not surprising.
Yeah.
I have no song matches with you either, Jim.
Kent, what's your list?
Sure. So, number 10, I have 3 Inches of Blood, Battles and Brotherhood. I love that song. It's such a great song. It's a good album. Unfortunately, they kind of broke up, and now they have reformed. So hopefully there'll be new material in the works. That song's like from 2009. It's a great album. Lots of like thrash, like a lot of like really good chugs. Kind of a Maiden-esque. There's a lot of Maiden kind of style riffs in it, but it's a really good song.
Yeah,
I totally like that. The vocalist is that guy Cam Pipes. He's a fucking amazing vocalist.
And what a great vocal name, right? Pipes being
Cam Pipes. Yes, you're right. Yeah, he's a great vocalist because he sings like he can sing kind of melodic. He can sing kind of sort of going into the death metal territory. The guy's great. He's a really good vocalist. Number 9, I do have a Dead Brain Cells. I took the song Third Coming from the unreleased EP from 1995. I totally love that song. It's such a great song. Don't shoot, I'm the Messiah. I come from heaven to deliver your souls. I love that song. It's so great. It's such a great song. Yeah, so I picked that on that. Number 8, I have this is a band called MAD, so Mutual Assured Destruction. They're from London, Ontario. They were thrash, crossover thrash. They only had 2 albums out. The song I chose was Me, The Asylum and I from Songs for the Ugly in 1992. Not a very well-known album, but it was one I liked. I still have it in my collection, so I stuck that there. Number 7, I have Razor, but I went with with a new song, King Shit, off Cyclic Intent. I fucking love that song. It's so fucking humorous. It's great. I think that's a fantastic song. And I remember the guys on Thralls of Metal, they reviewed that album, and they weren't really familiar with much of Razor's past, but they loved that song as well. They were really taken by the song King Shit. Last song on the album. They loved it. Number 6, I'm going with Flesh as Armor from Tomb Mold from 2023's The Enduring Spirit. One of my favorite kind of modern techie death metal albums. Great album. Great album. In fact, it was my album of the year in 2023. It was my number 1 pick.
Great album.
Yeah, it's a fantastic album. I love those guys.
I didn't know they were Canadian.
What's that?
I just learned. I didn't know they were Canadian.
Yeah, they're from Toronto. Yeah.
Wicked band.
Yeah, I know they're totally wicked band. The cover artist is fantastic. I love that guy's work. Those covers are wicked. And then number 5, I have Voivod. So I went with Nothing Face, The Unknown Knows. I love that song. I know we did a podcast on it together, but it's a great song. A totally great song. And then number 4, I went with Alice in Hell from Annihilator. You can't not have a top 10 without that song. It's such a classic song. Randy is so great in that song. It's one of my favorite vocal tracks that he was on. Number 3, I went with Varga. So I went with Freeze Don't Move from 1993 from Prototype. Again, this song put them into the big time. It's sort of kind of like an industrial groove, kind of funk thrash. It's got a mix, but I like it for me. Number 2, I have Allied Forces for Triumph. I love that song. It's so energetic. It's one of those songs that I play a lot. I play that album all the time. I totally love it. And at number 1, I have Sacrifice, but I'm going to go with Reanimation because I think that's a great song. And it was a song that really got lots of airplay, especially on Much Music. And I love the video. The video is fantastic, and that's from Poor Determination from 1987. So that's my top 10.
Nice.
Cool. So we actually have we have a match, band and song.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. I'll find out.
Any wild guess what that might be?
BBC.
That's a good question, Billy.
I
I
think
would probably think maybe Alice in Hell or Voivod.
Voivod.
Okay, cool. I
Cool.
figured it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so these are not in order, so just shoot through them. And
Yeah.
Cataclysm, a song called "In Shadows and Dust," that's from the Shadows and Dust album from 2002. Just when it comes to live songs, one of my all-time favorite live songs ever played. It was made for massive mosh pits, and like it's just a crazy song.
Cool.
Two, Voivod, The Unknown Knows, from Nothing Face. Ken said everything about it. Had to get one of my favorite death metal albums is Gore Guts Considered Dead. So I went with their track Stiff and Cold. Love that song. Like you guys, I got Sacrifice. Leaned more with Jim on Soldiers of Misfortune, but I picked The Storm in Silence
Good
for
one.
my song. Number 5, Sword, from Metalized in '86, Children of Heaven. And it's funny, Jim, because this in my first version was Rock You by Helix. Which you had. But then if I think about it to this day, I find the Metalized album has more staying power. So I made that last minute switch. Then I'm going Oblivion from This Day Forward from 1990. Just a band I grew up with, even before this came out, buying their demo in the late 80s. And so I didn't even pick a song because I love everything on that album. Number 7, like Ken, DBC, Dead Brain Cells. But Universe, I love the technicality of that album. So I went with the Genesis Explosion.
Cool.
A very underrated band from Toronto, Thrash, that most don't know, Dioxin, album First Among Equals from '89. I selected The Essence of Ignorance. Just catchy, hook-filled thrash, slightly technical, really good. And here's my Montreal roots coming out, a band that probably didn't help because there were at least 2 other bands with the same name, Quo Vadis from Quebec. I'd say melodic to tech death metal. They have an album, Defiant Imagination, from 2004. I love the song Silence Calls the Storm. It's so damn good. Then I got to get, this is not a Voivod, but it's got Chewy. Chewy's band from Voivod, Martyr. This is like if you want to get a song that represents his crazy songwriting, its endless vortex towards erasing destiny. Like I just love the guitar playing on that is the craziest shit ever. But that was from Warp Zone in 2000. Really good. And sorry guys, I'm throwing in an 11 and 12. Overthrow, the title track from Within Suffering from 1990. Again, just sadly not well known. Cad Death. It's, obviously we know them in Canada, but then in that, maybe not in that same vein, the song Overlord from Infernal Majesty, None Shall Defy.
Good song.
1987, again, death thrash crossover, but very early for bands to sort of have that feel.
That style, yeah.
Yeah, that's my list.
Cool. It's a good list.
All right,
awesome.
Cool. So what are we? I'm just looking at the time here. Like I don't want to. So I'm figuring we're about an hour and a half in. Do you guys want to tackle 1 or 2 others?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it all. I mean, it won't take very long.
Okay. So let's go to, I think this is fairly well known. A lot of people could disagree or argue, but generally people refer to the big 4 of Canadian thrash as Voivod, Razor, Annihilator, and Sacrifice. So if you had to pick, you don't have to pick from these 4, but if you had to pick one band that basically represents Canadian thrash metal, who would it be and why? Ken, we'll start with you.
Nah, it's Sacrifice for me. Not because I know Gus, he's a friend of mine, but because I think they're like the epitome of thrash metal. Like he gives the brutal riffs, the frantic tempos, the vocals are shrill as hell. They're great. I love the style. I love the immediacy of their sounds. Overall, it's just great music, and I like the fact that these guys they care about their music. I know they've only had a couple albums in the last like what 15 years, but both albums and even the new one is fucking killer. It's just great, great thrash metal. I love these guys. I wish they would tour more often, but unfortunately, I guess logistics means they can't. But yeah, I'd go with Sacrifice is my favorite.
Jim, what do you got?
I'd go with pure thrash. I mean, I would go with I'd kind of have two, and that would have to be Sacrifice and Voivod. Pure thrash, I would go with Sacrifice, but because of the lack of material out in the last 20, and their new album, their latest album, kicks ass. I mean, it's going to be in my top. I think it's in my top 5 right now. I'd have to tie them with Voivod, and Voivod only because they're more of gone kind of more of a proggy metal, proggy thrash. I mean, I still consider them thrash, but they've gone a little bit more sci-fi prog since Nothing Face. Although during the departure there of Snake for 2 albums, they kind of brought back a bit of their thrash roots, but it's just the amount of material they're putting out. I mean, you got albums coming out almost every year. At least they just had a box set 2 years ago. They had that their last album was kind of had 2 new tracks on it, but then brought out some re-recorded, not so obvious tracks with Morgoth Tales. I think that's great, and their last album kicked ass as well. So for me, that would be the two that I would place as the definitely for regular classic thrash, definitely Sacrifice, because everything I find, especially on their new album, it's just it's going to be a thrash classic. But for material out there, I got to go with Voivod.
So your pick is Voivod or a tie? I wasn't sure.
It's a tie.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So it's interesting. You're going the same place I am. Not a tie though. I have a winner. So only 2 bands kind of come to mind here. I guess Annihilator. It's just unfortunately they became so tied to Europe and became so international. And Jeff moved to the UK. So I don't know. Like but for me right away it's Sacrifice or Voivod comes to mind. I need a band with a full discography. There's some great thrash albums here or there of short-lived bands, but and they still got to be releasing music. So this applies. And you mentioned it, Jim. I mean, Voivod experimented a little bit, especially after Nothing Face. They were like those two, like I don't know, what would you call them, like rock albums or hard rock albums, and so yeah, so I guess for me it goes back to if I think of the definition, the best Canadian thrash band's got to be Sacrifice, and still as Ken said, still releasing a new album. Yeah, so we're all kind of thinking along the same lines, I guess.
Same lines, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, Sacrifice album is a top. That's going to be a top 15 album on anybody who's into thrash.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah. And I mean, Voivod's last Synchro Anarchy album was in my. I didn't Morgoth Tales because it was all re-records in a lot of cases. But I ranked. I think Synchro Anarchy was my top pick in 2021. I think is when it came out.
Yeah, that's a really good album.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now some things may not have made our top 10 playlists and may not be our best Canadian thrash band, but I'm going to ask you guys to name sort of 2 or 3 lesser known Canadian metal bands that our sort of viewers or listeners should check out. And I think this is cool because, like there's so many great Canadian bands that don't get I mean, respect's probably applicable, but just don't get the marketing that a lot of bigger bands do. So, and some of them, they may or may not make it if we don't sort of push them. So yeah, so Ken, why don't you start on this one? Two or three bands.
Sure. So I have three. If you want like kind of modern kind of metal, I guess it's more modern traditional metal. I go with Striker from Edmonton. That's a great band. They have 7 albums out. They just put out Ultra Power in 2024, which is pretty solid. I know they started out more in the thrash side at the beginning, but now they've kind of gone more into traditional metal. But yeah, that's a band that doesn't get a lot of talk, and they should, I think. And then kind of a brother act to them would be Cauldron from Toronto, which they're a great band. They got 5 albums out. I kind of lumped them in sort of like the new wave of traditional heavy metal. So like I think Night Demon would be a good American comparison to this band. They're great. You can't go wrong with any of their albums. And then I throw Tomb Mold out there because I think Tomb Mold's great. Death metal, tech death metal, proggy style death metal from Toronto. Great band. I love the last album. I love the last 2 albums. Planetary Clairvoyance is great. The Endearing Spirits is great. So yeah, those would be my 3 picks that don't bands that don't get a lot of talk, but should when you think about it.
Yeah, Coltrane's interesting. Like I think I don't know if I ever mentioned it to you, but they played Hell's Heroes in Texas like 2 years
No,
ago.
you didn't.
And I didn't know them. Like,
Oh, okay.
like I don't even think I've ever heard of them
Oh, okay.
going into the show. And they basically like they played the indoor place, which I don't know, may hold like 800 people or something. You couldn't
Okay.
even get in there. Like
Wow.
everybody, like all the Americans, because apparently they've been on hold for like a couple years, if I
Yeah, that's right.
understand it correctly. And so yeah, like I was shocked at how well known and loved they were by like the international crowd. And here I am, the Canadian, and I had no idea who the hell they were.
Yeah. They're very similar to Striker in a lot of ways, but they're on a major label too, which is great. And I know they had that break from the last album, but yeah, they're a good band. Check them
Cool.
out if you don't know their back catalog.
Yeah, no, I did after that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
Are they members of Goathorn?
They were originally, yes. They used to be Goathorn, and
Yeah.
then they broke off to become Cauldron.
Yeah, they're great. I saw them as Goathorn, and they just
Okay.
right it. I saw them in Fredericton do a club set, and
Okay.
Hmm.
Cool.
And it looked like the young guitar player in Exciter manages them. Like, he's the guy who's on like all the web channels and stuff for
Yes.
metal. Like it looked like he's managing. He was helping them get set up and keeping them on time and stuff. So that was interesting.
Cool. That's awesome.
Jim.
Yeah, I had a couple. I've got a couple. I had Striker as one of them. I think that's a band that's probably on the cusp of really. I mean, yeah, like we're talking bands that are kind of flying a little bit. They had 7 albums, so it's not like they're new, but I had them on my list. I think people should definitely check them out. I also have a band that's really gaining a lot of momentum, especially in Europe, and that is Unleash the Archers. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
guys, Brittany Slay is a wicked singer. They do a lot. They're a hardworking band as well. And we need to really kind of fan the flames for these bands because, like, one of my favorite Canadian bands, The Agonist, ended up calling it quits in 2023 just because they couldn't afford to tour or to do that. And they were up for a Juno, which is a Canadian version of a Grammy. Voivod won it, but still, that's you go from a year earlier like being up for a Juno and then breaking your band up just because you just don't have enough funds or to kind of tour and to make it work. So Unleash the Archers is on that, they're on that heavy incline. Their last album was really good. And another band from Ontario that I see that is one of the hardest working bands out there is Luthero. I mean, they are just amazing. Another female fronted band, but just another hard working band.
Yeah.
I like their last album, and I've watched a few of their live streams. They tend to do them for free when wherever they're touring, especially like if they're playing in Hamilton. I'll be able to live stream it, and they just sound amazing. And I really hope they do venture out east. But I know,
They're touring Europe right now.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So they've had some great, like, I think they toured. Yeah, they've been touring, and they keep going back and forth. I think last winter they toured all of the U.S. with
Yeah.
was with what you call it there, Raven. I think
Raven. Yeah.
I mean, that's really really cool. And like I say, I hate it when our Canadian bands. I hate it when any bands call it quits because they just can't get past that sort of hump. And I get it. It's the money has a large portion in it because the Agonist for me, I mean, everybody, Vicky Persakis was another female fronted band, but I mean, that's got the famous lead singer that kind of broke her chops in there with Alyssa White Gluz, who was in that band. So did the first couple of albums, and then Vicky Persakis took over, and she has her voice. Now she's singing with a band, I think, with her husband, which is a little bit more of I like it, but it's not as it's kind of more of it's got like some rap kind of in it mixed with heavy. I don't know, kind of a wouldn't want to say Limp Bizkit because I wouldn't want to insult it, but sort of. I'm not as keen on, but there is some good tracks there too. But that's what I picked.
Cool. Okay, cool. I had three, so I'm going with old school, aggressive sounding thrash band, but modern band from Toronto called Corrosive. Just excellent. If you like vicious, ferocious thrash, that's the ticket. These guys are consistent, good. I think about 3 albums. The last one last year, or was it early this year? Either way, Catastrophic Creation. Just go and start there. If you're a thrash fan, you gotta like this thing. And again, I don't know how well they're known outside of Canada, so let's check them out. Another band from Quebec here, technical prog death metal. I love this. First Fragment. It's sort of progressive technical death metal. But then, don't be shocked when the whole flamenco section comes in. Like, it's just really unique. It's great. I mean, every review gives it a 10 out of 10. Brilliant musicianship, but you got to be okay. They sing in French, so that throws some people off. And so the last album, Gloria Eternelle, it's a French name, so my English accent is butchering it. But yeah, that must be checked out. And then a third band that I guess is not around. But it's such a sad story and criminally underrated. And I'm only bringing it up because they've reissued at least I know they reissued the vinyl. Is a band called Death Dealer, was originally called Death Dealer. Just criminally like underrated. They're from Quebec. They've been around since the early 80s. They had a fantastic album called Keeper of the Flame in 1986. Very old school new wave of British heavy metal. And then they released this masterpiece, Journey into Fear. And that thing was like 86, 87. And the record label put it on the shelf for 25 years, thinking, oh, no one would like this kind of music. And so again, it was very much like new wave, like the original like new wave of tradition. No, geez, is it new wave of traditional heavy metal? Yeah. Or new wave of British heavy metal. Sorry, I'm always getting mixed up between the new wave of traditional and the new wave of British. So yeah, it's new wave of British like heavy metal. But this also very much sounded like old school US power metal. And that album is called Journey into Fear. And it finally got released in 2014, but sadly the band's like long gone at that point. Like the record labels were a disaster. The crazy thing is they were signed to, and their manager was the head of the Canadian record label. Oh, now it escapes me. Bonsai. Right. So you were
Obama,
perfectly set, like in the metal, like you had Metallica coming in the door. You had like every major like thrash band and metal band coming in for distribution conversations. But they decided to leave Montreal and go back to Jonquière, where I think Voivod is from. But then everybody stopped kind of working with them, and it was just a complete disaster. But yeah, I can't recommend enough people to, if you can find these two, just amazing heavy metal that sadly completely got misplaced, and literally in the one case sitting on a record label shelf for 25 years.
cool.
Those are mine.
Cool.
Okay, last question. And you guys may have kind of done it already with some of your picks, so feel free to use that again. But I just wanted to highlight one like very new sort of Canadian metal band that you wanted to sort of highlight. And again, we all mentioned like a couple new ones, so let me know if there's anything you want to highlight here. Jim, we'll start with you.
I'd have to go with Lucero again. I think they're steadily building that climb, and they're out touring and they're out working. And I think they've got a new album in the works. I just think their last album was really awesome, and they're more of a, they've got kind of thrashy, traditional, symphonic. They're a whole mixed bag of tricks. I just think people should really, I'd love to see them headline at some point and give them a longer set so they could get deeper into their material. But I just think they're so talented, and that would be my pick.
Cool. Yeah, they played 70K tons of metal earlier this year. And sadly, they had like some rough comparables. Like they had some very like you played twice, but they had some very big bands playing. So sadly, they didn't attract the biggest crowds. So that would have been a good chance for them to get seen by like an audience from 70 different countries. But yeah, they had some bad luck in terms of who they were matched up against. Ken, who's your pick?
Oh, I have a band called Mutank. They're crossover thrash from Montreal. They have a couple albums out. So they had one on 2013 called Mech Metal, which is pretty solid stuff. But they finally released their sophomore album in 2024, Think Before You Think. It's a great album. I loved it. They're fantastic. They won Wacken Metal Battle Canada in 2024. And this album's out. Check it out. It's pretty good, kind of punky crossover thrash. Not super well known, but that the new album is really, really good. So that would be my pick.
Okay, so they went to they were the Canada overall winner.
Yeah, they were the Canadian winner in 2024.
Well, I guess I saw them, but I don't remember them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, well, when you put out an album, you kind of disappear. So like it's been 10 years in between albums, right? So maybe people forgot about them.
Yeah,
hopefully they put out more music like going forward.
Yeah, they beat out an East Coast band from Nova Scotia called Turbo, I think.
Okay.
They were there as well. They made it all the way to the final four.
Okay. That's cool.
All right. I had, again, it seems like I'm biased from my hometown province of Quebec, but I'm going back there. I think you guys like this a lot too. I only discovered it earlier this year. The band is Dissimulator. And so their album Lower Form Resistance. I mean, these guys probably grew up with all the great like progressive and technical bands of Quebec, like Voivod, and we've taught, and there are a bunch of them on my list today. So they're like a progressive, technical kind of thrash. So yeah, great album worth checking out. They're on a big label, so it's easy to find the album. Cool.
That's a good list.
All right. Yep. So yeah, that gets through. So that's all our questions for today. So a good.
We did it.
Yeah, I think we're within our normal time, so it didn't go too over.
About 2 hours. That's cool. Anyone who watches this will see that there's a lot of good Canadian bands, past, present, and future. Like there's tons.
Yep.
So
cool. All right, so that wraps up our episode today, episode 62. So I guess it's a bit late when we air. This will what come out Friday or Saturday, Ken?
Saturday. It'll be out
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday. Friday night, Saturday morning. You'll see
Okay,
it.
so belated Happy Canada Day, and to our
Absolutely.
American friends, of course, July 4th, which is Friday. You would have had that already. So
Yep.
that's kind of cool. And then, so when it comes to the next week's episode, so one of the things we talked about as a group is to, we're all big death metal fans. So we wanted to, we love thrash, and we're not changing the name of our channel and not changing the overall direction. But just to keep things fresh, we wanted to throw in a death metal album every now and then. So we don't know what the routine's going to be, like monthly, every second month. We'll figure that out. But by all means, let us know in the comments what you guys think of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think many thrash fans are naturally going to be death metal fans, so it's a good fit. So it happens that Ken's the next in our rotation, so he's going to pick the first album. So I'm going to let him mention the album. It may not be the one I picked, but that's okay. It's not my pick, so I'll shut up.
Yeah, I get that. So I'm picking Entombed, but for me, I had to go with Wolverine Blues. I know it might be blasphemy to some for not picking the first two because the first two are pure classics. But I don't know. There's something about Wolverine Blues that I really really like. The songs are catchy, and I think there's a good discussion to be had about the album, whether you like it or not. But I don't think I've ever came across too many people who don't actually like the album. I think most people do, but we'll discuss it next week. But that's my pick.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So once again, thanks everybody for joining in, and we'll see you all next week for our first ever death metal album pick.
You
All right.
betcha.
Have a good night.
Good night.